Happy Sunday. Welcome back to another Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 live streaming. Give me a mic check if you can. 1 2 1 2. I know last time we did a stream, the audio was a bit glitchy. So those who are in chat, please give me that thumbs up or, you know, whatever symbol there is when it comes to good old sounds here. 3 2 1, we have ignition. I like it. Welcome in, Bob. Welcome in, P2. Welcome in, Master Copy. Happy to see you all here. It's a rainy day here in the city, well, the area of Chicago, the suburb I'm in. A little gloomy, but that rain's supposed to go away, and it's supposed to be a sunny, hot, humid day here. Almost like the Florida nastiness. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Hopefully everyone's doing fantastic. Good weekend so far for me. Had some friends in town yesterday. Went to go eat, and then we went to go see The Mandalorian and Grogu. We're both well, 2 out of the 4 of us are Star Wars nerds. So we had a good time. The movie's not for everyone. It's not for all Star Wars people. But it's a fun movie, nevertheless. I had a good time with it, overall. I understand where the critics come in and will say things about it, because it's a fair point to make for some of the things. But, you know, if you like The Mandalorian overall, the TV show, I think you'll find it just fine. Just fine. It's a season of Mandalorian in movie style. And, you know, I'm fine watching 1.5 to 2 hour long series to be done with, you know. I'm fine with that. Versus watching it every week or so. 8 hours, you know, and they drag it out, you know, forever. So much rather have a condensed version of it. So it was fine, in my opinion. Again, it's not the best Star Wars movie ever. My friend and I were actually talking about the list of the Star Wars movies. Where would you rank it in that? And it would definitely be the last. It'd definitely be the last of all of the movies out there, because there are incredible movies, and that includes some of the not so good ones most recently released from Star Wars. But nevertheless, it was a good time. I had a good time, and, you know, obviously you get to spend some time with a friend that I don't get to see as often. So I'm glad to spend some time with him and you know, nerd out a little bit with some stuff. Outside that, let's see, I've been playing some the Lego Batman game, having a lot of fun with that. Haven't got Forza 6 yet. I'm going to get Game Pass for that. I just don't think I'm going to spend the money. I don't think I'm going to spend the time on the money. That's not the correct word. I don't think I'm going to spend the money wisely by buying the full package. So get Game Pass for whatever, $12 or so for a month. Get it out of my system, and I'll be happy from that point. I don't know when I'm going to get it, though. I do have a 4-day weekend. Started yesterday, so I got a couple more days off yet. So maybe throughout this weekend, who knows? We'll see. Maybe not, though, because I got the expo coming up in 3 weeks, so it might not be the best, wisest decision to get Game Pass when I won't be using it for a few days there. And I think that's about all I have for news with that, right? So today we're using FSHUD. We touched on a stream of this a while back ago, what, a year and a half ago or so. And, you know, I had my critiques with it back then. The voices never was a major fan of. It had some weird vectors. My biggest gripe overall was the traffic, well, lack thereof, traffic injection with the software. Well, that is no longer the case, as the developer has rolled out a subscription-based model for live traffic, and it is absolutely live. It is real-time live traffic you're going to see. So if you look at a plane on the radar within FSHUD, you're going to look up. You can look up the exact same plane in real life, and it actually is a moving plane going from A to B. It's a very cool thing, but also brings in limitations, because just like in the real world, planes aren't moving all the time, and so depending on what time you're flying at, what airport you're flying at, you may not see any kind of movement with traffic. Now, I have all the settings on default. On default, I do have FSLTL liveries installed, and I do have the AIG models, which I don't believe it could actually see those yet. Or not AIG, sorry, ATG, I think it is. That's the what's it called? Bravo Airspace model pack or livery pack, whatever it's called. I have that installed as well. So we're gonna do a flight from Dallas Fort Worth to San Antonio, and then if we want to be brave and courageous, we'll actually do the exact same flight again, but with Beyond ATC. And so we'll kind of see how things roll out and kind of see which one is the ideal between the two that might be worth your purchase if you don't already own, or, you know, maybe just your time in the sim. I've not been exclusively using FSHUD for the past several days, as I was in Beyond ATC yesterday for a flight, but there was an update that came out for the experimental build yesterday with Beyond ATC, and there already was an update for FSHUD's traffic. So it's good to see that they're working on some of that stuff as well. And the Beyond ATC flight I did was very good. No issues whatsoever. The one thing is, we'll talk about it with later on, but it is with the models that I bought. So we'll talk about that again once we're a little bit higher up in the sky during the cruise. It's a short little hop here. Picked this one on purpose. We're going to be using the Max on this flight, as I don't really fly the Max very often on stream. And yeah, feeling like the Max today. I was initially going to take out the 737-700, I think it was, but you know what? Switched over to the Max. Over to the Max is a good time. Okay, so I do have some weird key binding issue going on here. I don't understand what's going on, but for some reason, none of my buttons are working on my Moza Bravo, which could be a problem for autopilot now that I think about it. Well, we'll see what happens. Okay, anywho, let's connect this guy, and we're going to go to ground support and get the electrics connected. After that, we'll go to payload, and we're going to go to weight and balances, and we're going to put in some information here. So let's grab the briefing panel, which is from the guy that makes Cabby. This is probably my favorite cheap free add-on there is available when it comes to like navigation stuff, because it makes it so simple to pull this information. Got 146 passengers here. Cargo is 51, so quick math on that. We're going to put 25... 50? Yeah. 25.50. It's early in the morning, folks. I'm focusing hard. Fuel is going to be 11,226. So 11,226. Taxi out is always 420. And then our planned fuel is going to be, let's see, go to raw, scroll on down to where? Taxi, here it is, 50.95. No, hold on, 46.75. Which one do I put in, trip or taxi? This is trip and, no, this is, yeah, that's combining. Okay, 46.75, yeah. 46.75, set, and complete. That's all good to go. We can hide that for now. Go up here to the top, and let's get the battery switch on, ground power on, all the way to the top. Navigations. And then we're going to go to get the window heat going. Cruising up to flight level, what here? That's going to be briefing panel and cruising up to 300. That will automatically set. I forgot about that. Okay. And then we go to APU, get that fired up. Seatbelts and emergency exits are set. And P2, yeah, you get a new pizza oven. Very good. Have you done anything with it? Have you made any pizzas? I like myself a good pizza. We had so much pizza at work. I think I talked about this on the stream last time, actually. So much pizza that I've finally had a pizza yesterday. Just, you know, frozen pizza with my wife. And I was like, okay, this is good. I don't miss not having pizza now. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and get FSHUD. There's a few things that are that's really cool about FSHUD that I absolutely enjoy, and then there of course are those issues I have with it as well. So we're gonna go ahead and start SimBrief flight. We're gonna import our flight plan. We're currently expecting runway 36 right, so we're gonna pop that in the box here. Activate it, execute it. Next page, 0 fuel weight, pop it in there. Reserves. Go to payload, and reserves are going to be 2.7. And we're going to change this. This I wish is on default. I wish it was going to change my call sign automatically. So American 2097, we're going to start flight. And then cruising altitude is already in there. Winds are 242 at 5. And then temp is 8. Execute. And then we're going to get our N1s. which in this plane are always going to be, it seems like, for some reason. Let's see, copy this information. Flaps are 5, AC's on, anti-ace is off, calculated 5.3. So a takeoff and then 5.3. Flaps 5. CGs, I love that it automatically trims. That's my favorite part of this plane. Departure, let's see. So up here you can see all the information for the for your flight, which is really, really cool. So it's telling you what you're going to be taxiing from gate Delta 20 via Golf Quebec, runway 36, and then we're doing the Jaspa Coyote 4, although that's wrong. Oh yeah, that's right. No, we're supposed to be doing the window transition. So that's wrong. So we're going to go to departure setting. Departure is going to be the Jaspa. This is what I like about it, but I also dislike about it because I've seen it have issues more. I was mentioning this in Discord, more with the SIDS and the stars that I dislike. All right, let's go ahead and request our clearance. 36 right, Jaspa 7, window transition, execute.
American 2248, readback is correct. Contact when ready, DFW ground 121.85.
Runway 4, Cuervo 3,
121.85 when ready. American 2248.
window transition.
DFW
Right.
clearance.
That's all set.
American 2097 with information Yankee. Request clearance to San Antonio. We are at gate Delta 20.
APU is available, so plop those on, ground, or sorry, fuel pumps, yaw damper.
American 2097, cleared to San Antonio. Expect Jaspa 7 wind to departure runway 36 right. Initial climb 13,000, then is filed. Squawk 6547.
Cleared to San Antonio. Expect Jaspa 7 wind to departure
So
runway
FS HUD
36
traffic
right.
are significantly
Initial
better
climb.
performance than beyond ATC,
13,000,
sir.
then is filed. Squawk 6547. American 2097.
I think so. I do think so. I think it's the way it's all
American
done, though. It's
2097,
not
readback is correct.
because beyond
Contact when ready,
ATC doesn't have
DFW ground
optimized traffic.
121.85.
It's the way the traffic is done. So FS HUD does theirs all cloud-based.
Contact DFW ground 121.85
It's all cloud-based.
when ready.
Kind of like the
American
default traffic within Flight
2097.
Sim. It's all cloud-based, and that's why you have pretty good performance with it. Whereas Beyond ATC is all done locally. It's all done locally on your system, so that's taxing your system, right? I think that's where the big issue is, and I don't think Beyond ATC is ever going to change that because that's just a limitation of the product they're offering, which is not a subscription-based service,
DFW
right?
clearance. Envoy 3480, request clearance to Gulfport by Loxy. Gate Bravo 3.
All right, so my button's working for FS HUD, so it's just for some reason in the plane.
DFW ground. American 2097.
For some reason, my
Request
buttons are not
cruise
working
start
in the
clearance.
plane. I don't understand why. On my yoke. But they're working in the Moza
American
software, so I don't know.
2097, pushback and engine start approved.
All right, pushback and engine start approved. Let's go ahead and go to our tug and release the parking brake.
Clear for push and engine start.
Push
American
back.
2097.
I also don't like that it doesn't tell you direction. It doesn't tell you left, right, center. You know, it doesn't tell you, well, I guess I wouldn't say center, but it doesn't tell you direction to or push back. That's something I really like about Beyond ATC. And I guess, what do they do in real life? Because the
DFW
tug's
ground.
controlling the plane in
American
real
25,
life.
83, runway vacated.
And you would think the tug would be in charge of telling you what direction you're going to be facing, right?
American 2583.
So I guess in that aspect, maybe it's realistic. I don't know. I guess I'd have to listen to more ground real ops to know what they're doing. But yeah, you know, like it's the pilot and the ground control. They're both talking to each other. You know, the tug. And that's what you're seeing with GSX as well, right? So I don't know. I'm not quite sure what they do in real life. So maybe FS HUD's right and everyone else is wrong. Maybe. How's the performance in the stream? How's the stream look? I'm trying some new technique I found on the interwebs that apparently allows kind of like frame gen to work in OBS. I've yet to make a pizza, P2 says. I'm like, when I get anything new, I want to use it immediately. The moment it like arrives, I want to use it immediately. I'm a very impatient person, but I'm also a very, I guess, probably in the past 15 years, prior to 15 years ago, I was a very impulsive buyer, right? So I'm at a store or there's something I really, really want, I would just go buy it, waste my money on it and buy it. And I found that at some point, I've matured. I've matured to where, I think financially is probably the biggest thing with it all, but I've learned that you have to be cautious on some purchases. You can't just, I overshot that one for sure. You can't just, you know, go all willy-nilly and make the purchases. You have to do your research on it, right? And so to go with the story, I've recently been considering buying some earbuds, and I've been kind of up in the air of what I want to purchase and the price and all that jazz, right? Let's try to talk to FS HUD here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's the button's not working. The button's not working. Something's going on with my Moza. Push to talk, assigned. Yeah, it's working there. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's not FS HUD, it's definitely something going on in my Moza. Alright, anyway, I guess we can't talk to it right now. We're gonna get our taxi clearance either way. But yeah, so I've been working, thinking about what earbuds I want and all that jazz. It's been a 2-week process. Did a lot of research. Finally ordered some this morning. Finally pulled the trigger and ordered some this morning.
Taxi to holding point runway 36 right. Via Golf Whiskey Quebec. American 2097.
Golf Whiskey Quebec. Alright, so let's head on out. Going forward, stream looks good. Fantastic. I'm not quite sure what happened though. At some point, throughout all of my, well, not all of mine, but I've done 2 different PC resets in the past, I don't know, whatever it's been, 3 months. And somewhere within there, my OBS settings got all screwed up. So we're gonna look at the map real quick here, because the map is nice. I like, the map's kind of like Beyondatc's map. You can see the taxi direction, all that jazz. Now, one thing I dislike about FS HUD, although it's a positive as well, depending on how you look at it, is the fact that if you are off the taxi path that is chosen, it tells you taxi via, it just gives you new updated instructions for taxiing. I'd rather it, because it knows who you are and all that jazz. They're holding because of us. I just heard that call. I would much rather have it say something like that, like, you know, American 2097, you're off course. Why are you on you know, it knows what taxiway, it knows what's going on. I would just love to hear it say something to that effect. So that'd be a nice little feature it could offer, but currently doesn't. And I don't know if what the plans are. The developer is pretty open, it seems like, to listening to feedback from the community, but also a bit slow on implementing things. Like I've been scrolling through the Discord. I'm one of those creepers, not creepers, one of those, I said this last time, didn't I, when I was talking about this? One of those, oh, what's the word? Shoot, I forgot the word last time too. One of them, the silent people on streams and Discords, I can't think of the name right now. Stalkers? No. But like, I read through there often, just kind of see what's going on, and someone had posted a year ago about an issue, and the developers, yeah, working. I'm working as priority number 1. I'll get it patched up soon, and it still had not been patched up. So I don't know if they just forgot or whatnot, but the guy pinged the developer again. So who knows? Things like that. Lurkers. Thank you, lurkers. That's the word. I don't know why I can't think of that word. Lurker. Thank you, King Bob. Alright, let's go ahead and get the auto throttle on. Here we are on Whiskey Quebec. We're going to be holding short here. We get handed over to tower in a second.
American 20907. Contact DF. W Tower 124.15.
Landing lights are on. We'll switch this back over to ATC messages.
DFW Tower 124.15, American 20907.
I'm not as, like, against the voices as I used to be with FS HUD. Like, I used to be like, oh, these voices are awful. But if you spend a little bit more time with it, they're not... They're different than Beyond ATC and Say Intentions. Substantially different. Oh, we're gonna hold position, okay. Is your plane coming in?
Hold position, American 20907.
Huh. Wonder... I suppose we can look at the map. I don't see a plane coming in. Is there a plane crossing a runway? There's a plane on the runway. American 2377
when vacated, contact ground 121
is on the runway, active runway.
When vacated, contact ground 121.85.
What are they doing?
American 2377.
They're turning now. All right. All right. There's a plane on the active runway down there, right there. That's cool though. We got to see at least that. We get to see FS HUD not let us take off. I don't know if you've ever been in Beyond ATC, but that's happened occasionally. Where like you got cleared for takeoff and they got a runway. I got a plane that's crossing the active runway.
Runway 36 right, clear for takeoff.
I think traffic is one of the hardest things I think a developer could do with in-flight sim. They're limited to so much. You know, Sobo's own SDK isn't great for traffic apparently, but they're limited with just so much they can do. And I give hats off to any developer who's done any kind of traffic with flight sim. It's just super complex as well. All right, throttle coming up.
DFW Tower, American 15907.
60%. Toga. Let's go flying. Winds are... Where's the winds? A little bit of crosswind.
We'll continue approach. American 15907.
Where are they landing? Are they landing left? Are they 3-5? Probably 3-5. Rotate. Pull back. Oh, off center line.
American 15907.
Alright, positive rate. Gear going up.
Clear to land 18 left.
I was limited in my rudder there because I got the cat right down by my feet.
Clear to land. Runway 18
She's
left.
like, I don't know, decided that's where she wants to lay at now. Crazy cat. It's going down here. Antis gets off. BNAV, LNAV enabled. Flaps up 1.
DFW Tower. Skyroof
Now this is one of the first flights I did with FS traffic. New traffic injection the other day. Now something screwed up here because they're landing. There's a runway change, but they didn't make the runway change with FS traffic. You see all these planes coming in? They're landing. They're landing 17. Yeah, see, that's a problem. That's a problem. Alright, full flaps up. We've seen that in the sim with 5 traffic as it is. And, you know, so it's interesting because I was reading about, like, how the weather sources work. So Sobo hasn't allowed developers to grab the API for weather within Flight Sim. So therefore, it's all relied on a third-party source. So, is autopilot going to work? Yeah. So the autopilot button works. What the hell? So it's just, I think it's just the chase plane stuff that's not working. Huh. Anyways, so it's all based on the source that the developer gets its ADAS from, right? So if the developer is getting a source from one location and that source is slightly outdated, based on what you're seeing in the sim, which is already outdated, you're going to experience that disconnect, right? So how many times have you seen, whether you're using SI, Beyond ATC, FS HUD, the built-in traffic, or the built-in ATC, where the wind isn't correct for that runway? that's because of the change in the weather, right? And the sim weather already is behind anywhere between a half hour to an hour, right? Go in the sim real life, go to, you know, wherever you want in the world, look at the weather real life, you'll see that it's not actually, let's say it's supposed to be raining, it's not raining yet, because the weather is slightly behind with it, right? If Asobo opened up the API for developers to actually get the real-time weather within the sim, traffic would be substantially better for all three of ATC products out there. Technically, there's Pilot ATC, which is number 4, but we don't talk about that one. That's overly complex. Way before I got into, really got into ATC stuff, I was trying to figure it out. It's just a super complex piece of software. It was just too much. I did one flight with it. You know, the voices are really rough, but, you know, we're talking, this is before the boom of AI and 11 Labs and all that jazz. But actually, if you listen to the interview I had with Captain, he said, like, he was using Pilot ATC before, but it was just not great, right? Z-Money, thank you so much for the 10 gifted membership. Much appreciated. We got Fritz, Horizon Line, Dwayne, Stein, NJSA, Carlos Mario, 7720, Random Shadow got one, November 32, 0 Alpha Sierra, and Hunters, all courtesy of Z-Money, 805. Thank you so much for that, Z-Money. Much appreciate it. Yeah, so I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about when it comes to the complexity of flight sim. Yeah, none of my chase plane buttons are working. Why? Chase plane's working, because I was able to do the drone thing, but none of the buttons are working with chase plane. Everything else is fine within the sim. Although I can't... No, that's chase plane button, yeah. I was gonna say I can't pan left and right, but that's all because of chase plane. Huh. It's always something, folks. It's always something. Yeah, I was talking about it, what was it, last week, but there was something really nice about just popping into American Truck Sim, and it's just all working. Playing the Lego Batman game and everything's just working, right? But I understand, like, if I were to get into, like, I had thought about it briefly a little bit recently, but if I had got into, like, the GTA police kind of stuff, like I dabbled in a while back ago, that I'd run into the same kind of issues, right? The more mods you add to any kind of piece of software, the more chances of things falling apart. And you're already taking a super complex thing like Flight Sim and making it even more of a resource hog, right? There are bound to be issues, apparent issues, big issues that happen. And it's, you know, it's kind of, if you could use Flight Sim and rarely have any issues if you went vanilla. If you went vanilla Flight Sim, you would rarely have any issues. And, you know, the exception would be if you're on, like, PlayStation or Xbox. I feel like, regardless, those systems are just not ideal for Flight Sim. It's impressive that they're running on it to begin with. Let's put it that way. But if you have a, you know, a mid-range to high-end PC and you go vanilla Flight Sim, you're likely going to have very limited issues. Very limited issues. Now, your issues might be all related to the in-build planes, but regardless, I think the overall performance of your sim, of your system, is going to be just fine. And I think even if you went with just planes, if you went with just third-party planes, you're probably going to have limited issues as well. But once you add in things like chase plane, you add in things like flow, you add in things like live traffic, you add in sceneries, you add in weather enhancements, you add in atmosphere enhancements. What else do I run? Right? Once you keep adding all these things to the sim, Navigraph itself also has caused issues within the sim, right? So you keep adding all these things into it, eventually things are gonna get out of whack. But I feel that if you're part of this channel, this community, you likely use
Direct pod.
a major
6343.
portion of mods, right? Third-party add-ons for Flight Sim. Because we enjoy that. But it's also, again, it's that limitation, it's that complexity of the sim, and it's never going to be perfect. I don't know, what if a Sobo had the Steam Workshop? I know they wouldn't be selling it through the Microsoft store anymore, though. But what if they had it through the workshop? What if they had an easier way to make mods for Flight Sim? Would that have made things better? Right? Could explain why after I install all my ini builds planes, Sim runs better. Let's see, what do I have installed for ini builds? I have the 306. I think I have the 350 installed as well still. Yeah, I think that's the only 2 planes I own for mini builds. At least airliners. Yeah. I think so. What other ini builds? There's the 330, but I got the... Or sorry, the 340, but I got the Aerosoft one.
American 19906.
Yeah, I think that's the only one. Like, because then there's the default ones, which you could technically remove.
Direct American 1999.
If you go into your library in the sim, can you just disable those planes? And then if you disable them, though, would it remove the models of the planes? Although it wouldn't matter if you used FSLTL. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. I know there's the hack of going into the file and then disabling them, right? Which I tried once, because it was a... What was that supposed to fix? I don't remember what that was fixing. It was just to disable the avatars or something, because the avatars are like broken at some point. I can't remember how it all worked out. But anyways, I went in there to do that and it broke it. It broke everything. Couldn't even launch the sim. Had to delete that file, have Steam re-verify the files, and then everything was back together. Thankfully, Flight Sim 2024 is primarily cloud-based, which again is a positive and negative, right? Big positive and negative with everything. Okay, so up here, FS HUD, let's go ahead and see where we're expecting for arrival. So runway 4, is it going to be the Cuervo? There's the Windu transition. Marks Cuervo, yeah, Cuervo, okay, perfect, yep. Yeah, okay, so it's a Cuervo transit. Okay, perfect, so yeah, it's a Windu transition to Cuervo 3 arrival. Runway 4 is what we're expecting. I don't like that hack because I feel like it could bring other, and I don't do it. I don't do it because I think, I also think it could also cause other issues. And then also when you have a sim update, it just changes anyways. And we have enough sim updates. Now I did roll back the sim update 5.1. I rolled it back yesterday because I was trying to fly in, no, that wasn't yesterday. Friday night. I was trying to fly out of Cleveland. I have a Cleveland add-on, KCLE. I have an add-on for that airport, and I was trying to load into it. Every time I load into it, it would freeze the sim. Completely freeze the sim. And so the first time I was like, yeah, well, it's just a fluke. Whatever, it is what it is with that. The second time I did it, same thing happened. I was like, okay, well, this is weird. So I tried a different plane as well. And same thing. Okay, what the hell? So then I went in, I deleted the shader cache, the scenery indexes, the rolling cache, all 3 of them gone. And it's still, as soon as it built the shaders for the plane, it loaded into the airport, froze. And I was like, okay, what the hell? So I rolled back out of the beta, back into the sim with Sim Update 5, and all was fine. So I don't understand how that happened, but it did. Alright, while we're cruising here, let's go ahead and put in our arrival information, runway 4 into San Antonio. And I do think we're going to do the second flight. We're going to do the same flight again, but with beyond ATC. I'm going to do a sim restart though, because that might fix my chase plane issue. I'm not quite sure what the hell's going on with chase plane. Okay, so 037, 107, or say 1097. 1097 for the ILS. 1097. Yeah, that's still the beta. Yep. I'm surprised that there's only been one beta for it. 986 for the Barrow.
American 2181. Contact
986.
Star approach 124.3.
Okay, so the expo is in like
Contact
3
Lone
weeks.
Star,
Whoop,
approach
way too far.
124.3. American 2181.
I haven't quite decided how I'm going to cover any of it. I would like to. I also don't want to. You know, I talked about it before, but I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be there as just a fan, or if I want to go there as a media person. I did sign up for the media thing, so I am technically a media person. Doesn't mean squat. All I get, I get early access if I want to get my badge. There's a media stand I get to go to and get
American 2,
concessions.
2000.
There's nothing, I don't get any special treatment. I don't want special
10-1, 2000. American 2, 274.
if this is like your second or third time, whatever it is, I can't remember those two, you get free access to the expo. This is my first one in person. You got to use FS HUD, same tensions and Beyondatc at the same time. Max realism. Yeah, good luck with that.
10-1, 2000.
Yeah, thank you again, Z Money, for the 10 gifted membership. Much appreciated.
American 1034.
Okay, so top of the descent's coming up right there. Runway 4 for the arrival, so we'll end up making a 180 up here in the sky. Coming in for the arrival, runway 4. Which runway is that? Oh, San Antonio. Okay, I don't do 4 very often. 4 is great if you have cargo. Cargo's right on the right side, but when you land runway 4, we're going to exit to the left, probably November 6th. Backtrack via November, taxi to our terminal, and then we're going to try it again with Beyond ATC. With Beyond ATC. Now, so here's the thing. There are 3 major players when it comes to ATC. I just did a video about it last week and a week before. And
American 10.
each one of them offers something unique. And not one of them is perfect. Not one of them is the one you should recommend to anyone, right? I do feel that everyone, in my personal opinion, should own Beyond ATC. Because you can't try Beyond ATC. If all 3 of them offered a trial period, I would say try all 3 of them. Because each one of them are going to cater to you a little bit differently, right? And in the video, like I'll give you the quick little clip notes, but like, Say Intentions offers a lot of stuff. There is an amazing amount of stuff that Say Intentions offers for the price. So if you fly enough in a month, the subscription might be worth the cost for you, right? If you want to use all the features it offers, ground, career stuff, mentor, I think it has the tour stuff still, right? The cabin crew, obviously ATC, traffic now, multiplayer traffic, right? So if you use any of those features and you fly enough, Say Intentions might be the best purchase for you, right? There's Beyond ATC, which is a single purchase, but offers the option for even better voices. So you can go that direction as well. Beyond ATC is very clean cut and dry. It's ATC, there's nothing else it offers. But it does it well. Their developers are one of the top developers, I think, that are available in the market for flight sim. They're just very open. The Discord's very supportive. I've never had a bad experience with anyone from Beyond ATC. I never ever had a massive disappointing experience with the product, other than fatal crashes. But you just restart the app and it's good to go. And when you submit a bug to them, it will take a while because they don't push out bugs hourly. It's not cloud-based like Say Intentions, but eventually the bugs will get fixed and they get sent out. And then you have FS HUD. FS HUD is doing something a little bit differently, where their UI is more like old school looking. It's not the cleanest and most colorful Fisher-Price looking Beyond ATC is, but it does a pretty dang good job. The limitations though for FS HUD have always been the voices, but people preach about the ability to use your own injection. which is great because we had choices. We're limited now, but we have choices for your own traffic injection, right? But now FSHUD has its own traffic injection, so now that makes it even more similar to Beyondatc, minus the local voices that are better with Beyondatc in my personal opinion, and the option for those premium voices, which are of course even better if you're willing to spend the money on it, right? The thing that when you're comparing FSHUD and Beyondatc, it's so difficult to say which one you should buy. If you can only buy one, it's so very difficult to say which one you should buy, because I do feel it is still based on the user. It's always going to be based on that user and what you want and what you do with your sim. FSHUD makes it really nice and easy here within the UI to go ahead and just choose a new arrival, new departure. You can see it all here. It's nice and handy to have. The external app is nice as well. Well, it opens in a browser. That's nice to have as well. I'm still a major fan of Beyondatc, and it's going to be my go-to ATC still. FSHUD has not changed me away from Beyondatc. Even with this new traffic stuff, it hasn't pulled me away from Beyondatc. I just feel that the way that Beyondatc's traffic has been so hard work. They've done that's not the word. They've done such a great job at trying to refine their traffic and get traffic to the best it can, that I'm, in my personal opinion, for the two that I've used primarily in the past year and a half, that Beyondatc's traffic is better. It has issues. They're all going to have issues, but I do feel it's better. I have not used the intentions in a while, so I don't know. I can't give you my first-hand opinion of the intentions outside of what I've seen in videos and whatnot, which I haven't watched much of.
American 20907. When ready, descend 17,000.
Okay, when ready, descend via. So 3002.
When ready, descend 17,000. Altimeter 3002. American 209.
When I first started this channel, I was definitely biased, right?
0907. Contact Houston Center 128 decibels.
I had my reasons for it. But I realized something, and that is, as I continue doing more YouTube content, I realized that it's very important to not aggressively critique a developer unless it's doing serious harm. Unless it's doing serious harm. And no developer's really doing serious harm, right? No one's really doing serious harm. We make fun of any builds, right? Their planes are questionable sometimes when they come out. Their sceneries look good, but sometimes performance is a little spotty, right? But outside of them, maybe Captain Sim, and then MS Scenery, you start to fall into that category of they're kind of doing some harm. But at the same time, they're not, because they're most time they're lower costing products. And some people don't want the high fidelity stuff. They don't have time to learn it. They don't want to learn it. They just want to hop into a 737, go fly, right? And those products suit them. So again, it's one of those. As a higher fidelity simmer like myself, I would never want to purchase one of their products, but I have a couple MS Scenery ones because limited choices with scenery, and I'm like, well, this is better than nothing. Even their crap sometimes is, in my opinion, better than the default stuff, which is wild to say that. But, that's life. Let's see, what else we got? Actually, sometimes I use Beyondatc for traffic and use SI for ATC. I just mute Beyondatc. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting, King Bob. You use Beyondatc for traffic and SI for ATC. And see, that's the thing. Again, every one of these products are going to have issues in some character, some form or fashion, right? It could be a bad vector. It could be that they lose you. It could be the traffic. It could be the delays with communications. It could be the way the voice recognition is. Whatever. All three of them have an issue. There is an issue with all of them. None of them are perfect. It just comes down to your personal taste. It comes down to what you're looking for in your sim, right? It's all it comes down to. I don't personally care what you use. I just hope you use one of them. because it's, in my opinion, better than the default. Now, I haven't used the default in over a year and, what, year and a half or so? But I'm sure it hasn't come a long way. I'm sure it has not. Are you using Rex Atmos cord? I'm not, no. I used to, but I didn't. I hate the price, but I love a SI. Yeah, and, you know, that's the thing. I hate subscriptions. I hate them with a passion. I have several subscriptions, but I hate them with a passion, right? So I like to utilize my subscriptions to the fullest. And for me, when I was using SI, I was using the features, and then I noticed that as time went on, I stopped using some of the features, right? When I was using SI, I was using cabin crew. I was using the mentor. And then I noticed over time, I stopped using the cabin crew. I stopped using the mentor, and I was just using ATC. And I thought about it as time went on, and I started using other products, that why would I want to spend, personally, why would I want to spend, you know, 15, 20 bucks a month for that when I could not pay that? Right? When I can save that money and get ATC, that's very similar to what I was experiencing with SI. In some cases better, in some cases worse, right? There's that. Captain, welcome in. Happy Sunday to you. And Chris, welcome in as well. Do you have FS Realistic Plus? If so, can you upload your profile to the cloud? Yes, I can upload it. I thought I did, actually. Let's see. FS Plus profile. Share to the cloud. I'm going to call it Lex. Let's call it Flylex. Flylex. And then the description is going to be Flylex profile. Share it. There we go. It's shared.
Continue to send 5,000. Southwest 4437.
Let's see, what else we got here? SI traffic has come a long way and allows you to tune the airport in traffic if the traffic is not to your liking. Hold on, King, I'm confused. SI has come a long way and allows you to tune the traffic, tune the airport if the traffic is not to your, how do you, like, so like the taxi tuner? You get to tune the traffic? How does that work? SI can be pretty expensive for those like me that I want to fly. Let's see, hold on. Like me, it's too blurred to me, sorry. SI can be very expensive for those like me that when I fly, I want to be as immersive as possible and also use Entourage. And that's what I prefer. Oh yeah, there's Entourage too, which is the single purchase for 50 bucks, I think. What made you stop using Atmos Core? Seems to be improved my sim quality significantly. It was when I was part of Sim Update 5. When I was part of Sim Update 5, Atmos stopped working, and I just stopped using it, and I just haven't really seen a reason to go back to use it. Yeah, just personal, Like it does enhance things with the sim and all that jazz, but I haven't found the need to actually use it. Desire to reinstall it. Like our good friend Irishman says, less is more. And then Mr. Apex will come in and say more is more.
Contact San Antonio, approach 124.45, Delta 1676. Southwest 31906, maintain 13,000.
King Bob says yes to the taxi tune. So, okay, so you can tune the airport like you can.
Southwest 31906.
How do you tune it though? Are you using the taxi tuner? That's what I'm curious about. Captain AJ Flyer, welcome in. Thanks for your subscription. What reshade do you have? No reshade. This is all defaults, weather and atmosphere. All default. Tune the traffic I meant by if for some reason planes are not parked at the correct gate or the taxiing correctly, you can fix it. How do you do that? Like the parking makes sense at the gates. I know way back in the day with Taxi Tuner, they were adding in what planes and what airlines use the taxi, but I mean the gate. How would you do the taxiing though? I don't understand how that would work. How's that possible with the technology they use? I know Taxi Tuner, I know people went in and, you know, tuned all the airports and all that jazz. I'm just curious of like, how do you fix a taxiing?
Right heading 285. Moxie 183.
Because it would follow the taxiway. That's where I don't know how you do that. See, what I think he means is that you can increase and decrease the amount of traffic. You can also tweak the taxiways. Like retune it? I guess you can do it so like airliners use this taxiway and GA uses its taxiway. But I thought they already had that in there with Taxi Tuner V2. You know, last time I used it. I thought. I used to be one of the approvers for the Taxi Tuner thingy. I would go in there and verify it's all correct based on the charts and then good to go.
Descend 2200. Moxie 1836.
Which I tell you what, it's a pain in the ass to do all that stuff back then. I don't know if it's made any progress, but it was just a pain in the butt to Taxi Tuner airport. It's a cool feature that they added. You know, it's a limitation that Beyond ATC, FSHUD have because they're going off of the scenery itself. So if the scenery is incorrect, well, then the airport's going to be incorrect as well. That's one of those things, though, where the community came in and saved the day. Had the community not have been there, they would have been in a major issue. And I know they were talking about how what they would love to have been able to do was import the charts themselves and have AI read it. But they were running into legal issues with that. Because they couldn't technically do that. And Jeppesen wasn't going to share the information to them. They weren't going to allow them to gain access to that, I guess. Because they were working on that as well as a partnership. Well, I guess they did, but limited. Like it was old data. I've never tried FSHUD. How do you like it compared to Beyond ATC? Well, they're both very, very similar. I've gotten used to the FSHUD voices, but I prefer the Beyond ATC voices. My initial thoughts when I got back into using FSHUD recently is that the vectors and the stars and SIDS were all better, you know, more consistent. But I've changed my verdict on that now. I changed my verdict on the SIDS and stars. Beyond ATC does a better job at that, but FSHUD does a better. You're going to see here on this when we get in for runway 4, the vectors are freaking incredible, man. Like they are spot on. When you turn to the right, or when it has you turn, you know, whatever direction, it's freaking spot on. Now sometimes it does the Beyond ATC thing where it gives you a vector, vector, vector. Other times it's like one turn, perfect, and then tells you to, you know, intercept the ILS or whatever it be. Now FSHUD will always do ILS or RNAV, right? Whereas Beyond ATC's default is going to be visual, is always visual, unless it, you know, and that's real life. In real life, they're always going to do visual unless it warrants the need to do, you know, ILS. Sorry, Captain, do you have the same realistic profile for all your planes? Yes, I do, actually. So the profile I shared in there is for every plane. Every single plane I have, I use the exact same profile. Works out really well for me. It's not going to be for everyone. But, yeah, for every profile I use, or every plane I use the same profile.
American 1396, continue to set 10,000. Continue to set 10,000. American 1396.
Okay, I'm going to step away for just a few moments while we're on descent. I'll be right back.
Expect Kilo Blue 7 arrival. ILS approach runway 18 left. Southwest 724, descend 6,000. Descend 6,000. Southwest 724. Southwest 724, turn right heading 125. Right heading 125, Southwest 724. Southwest 724, continue descent 2,200. Continue descent 2,200, Southwest 724. American 2097, cleared Curve 3 arrival. Clear curve 3 arrival. American 2097.
All right, making a turn here. We got cleared down to 13 still. Oh, 11,000 now.
11,000.
Vectoring is pretty much what I don't like on SI. I think it still lacks overall accuracy. Now, Captain, you said you use Entourage. That doesn't have... Entourage doesn't have ATC, right? That's just for cabin crew and whatnot. Right? Am I correct in that?
Expect Kilo Blue 7 arrival. ILS approach runway 18 left.
Expect Kilo Blue 7 arrival. ILS approach runway 18 left. Polaris 800.
I'm very much not against trying SI again. I would love to be able to stream it again, just to kind of see and do it live. If I gain access to it, I would actually love to just install it, stream it live for the very first time in forever, and kind of see what the experience is like.
American 2097.
That was like what I loved about with Beyond ATC. The thing that got me, and I've talked about this so many times, but when I tried traffic for the very first time, I remember installing Beyond ATC, setting up the flight, sitting there at the gate and being like, holy crap, this is the coolest thing ever. And I was like anti-traffic because I knew it was going to be an FPS hit. I was anti-traffic, man. I was super anti-traffic. And then using it, I was just blown away. And because of how impressed I was like, I got to get OBS running right now. So like you got to see on the video like my very first impressions of traffic and very first flight with it all, and I was like, geez, this is the coolest thing ever. It was amazing. But I had that exact same experience when I first tried SI way back in the day when it was VFR only, and I was learning ATC. I was like, holy crap, this is so cool, right? And I get those wow moments. I've had it here with FS-HUD, with the traffic, just sitting at the airport, and you've seen all these planes, and the FPS is silky smooth, and the movement of all the planes around you. I was like, holy crap, how'd they do this? Right? It's amazing to have those experiences within the sim. There's so many times where I have the wow moments within flight sim as it is, when it comes to like the weather, right? The beauty of flight sim. I would show you, but my button's not working right now. But it's just, I don't know, it's such a cool experience to have those wow moments with any kind of add-on. I use both ATC and Entourage. They work together if you have... Oh, so you do have... Okay, I thought you were saying you're using Beyond ATC and Entourage. Okay, I see what you're saying. So hold on. Okay, why do you use Entourage if you use SI as well? If you have a sub to SI, because SI has all that stuff as well. There's not like a light tier of SI, right? I'm aware of. Like, I know they just released some other Traffic 2 or something like that, where you can pay an extra, whatever, $3 a month or something. I don't think there's just I always said that they should launch just an ATC product. If they want to, they can do 3 different packages. I don't know how the logistics behind it would work, but you know, they can do one that's just ATC, they can do one that's ATC and traffic, and then you can have the whole package. I bet you if they did that, I've said this before, but I bet you if they did a package of like $5 for like ATC and traffic for $5 a month, $50 a year, whatever it be, I bet you their numbers would skyrocket. I don't know if it's profitable though, but their numbers would, I bet you would skyrocket. And then if they did just ATC, whatever, $3 a month, $2.99, similar to what you can do with FS-HUD's, you know, traffic. If they did that, I bet you the numbers would go up as well. Again, I don't know if it'd be profitable. I don't know any of the numbers behind that stuff, but I bet you their numbers would soar. The biggest thing is people don't want to spend the 15, 18, whatever it is a month to have it. You know what I mean? And if you, okay, no, I use, but you can have Entourage alone without ATC and I use both. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, gotcha. They work together, have them both. Okay. If you use ATC, then entourage is integrated. Ah, okay. Keith, hello. Keith, how you doing? Was considering upgrading from my old pilot to ATC. It still works, but very basic. Beyond ATC or FS HUD, not shelling out for SI. Well,
San Antonio approach 124.45. American 2097.
because of the better voices, because of the better currently handling of traffic, I would put I would personally say, if I had to buy one of them again, I would buy Beyond ATC again. I would probably also buy FS HUD again. I would actually I would buy it again. I don't regret buying FS HUD. Never had. I've had it for a year and a half, whatever it's been. I've never regretted buying it because I've used it enough times. But after my trial is over with traffic here, which ends on Wednesday, I think, or Tuesday this week, one of the 2 days, will I be subscribing to the traffic? No, I won't. There's still enough issues where I'm like, as much as I love the performance of it, absolutely love the performance of it, I don't feel it's quite ready to take my time away from Beyond ATC, at least at this point. But everyone's gonna be a little different. Captain, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. We got 20 gifted memberships so far today. Reggie Fish Finder, he's gotten a couple before, or they, I should say. Lando, Eric, Boise, Ghostman, Andrew, was it Andrew? Harry, Wall, and Nuff. Nuff said, I love it. All courtesy of Captain. Thank you so much for the gifted 10 membership, Captain. Much, much appreciated. Thank you so much. Hopefully things are going great for you. I was talking to a friend, coworker friend, and he's asking like, when are you gonna stream again? I'm like, I don't know. I kind of cut back a little bit on the streaming, a bit. And he's like, well, you're making so much money. I'm like, well, it's not about the money. It's just about, doing it when I feel, that I'm having fun. And when I feel like it's work or chore, I don't want to do it. I don't want to force myself to do it. So today it was kind of like a force. I want to do it, but I also want to showcase FS HUD live, because I want everyone to see kind of the first-hand experience. You can make a video, and then you can do all the edits and all that jazz, right? But you get to experience any of the issues I may run into, an average user may run into, when you do a live stream. I think that's the best part of live streaming, is that there is no hiding any flaws with a product. If there are product flaws, there's a chance it's going to show during a live stream. There's definitely a chance it's going to show during a live stream.
American 20907, turn right heading 215.
215. So the initial turn for go heading 200 was to make sure we had enough room to turn. So I figured out that should be just fine. So now we're doing 215. It's interesting how it works with the difference when you do flights with FS HUD versus Beyond ATC. It's interesting how the coding is behind the scenes with it. We're gonna do this flight again. The second flight's gonna be with Beyond ATC, and we're gonna kind of see the experience is like. Right? I'm gonna keep everything the same. Beyond ATC is gonna have FSLDL and the ATG models and all that jazz. So nothing's gonna be changed with that. It's just gonna be a different piece of software. I thought about swapping out and using the other models, but I want to see. We're going to see the whole picture of Beyond ATC, and I have the latest beta version that was uploaded or updated today. Yeah, but I like voiding monthly fees. I get you. Yep, I'm the same way, Keith. 100% with you.
American 20907, turn right heading 305.
305.
Right heading 305. American 2097.
We want to be at hard 5,000. Perfect. 305. I was just verifying your altitude. Okay, so that's a very good turn. I was a little late for it. Would have been closer to to, actually it's, what is that? That's 8. Alright, we want to be at 35. They cleared us down to, I forgot to put the altitude change. Alright, let's go to vertical speed. Drop us on down. This is my fault. Alright, slowly getting there. It's a cloudy day here in San Antonio. Lex buys them and compares them so we don't have to. What a great guy. Well, you know, and Jay was asking, so Jay made a comment today in Discord, and he's like, you know, maybe you like to, what was it? What did he say? Try out the new stuff, or, you know, beta test the new stuff and experience it and all that kind of stuff. And that's true to a point. But I also am just searching for the best thing that's going to work for me. That's ultimately what it comes down to. I'm ultimately just searching for like the best thing that's going to work for what I'm looking for.
Right heading 025.
I'm never content, I guess. Let's say that. I'm never content. You can ask a friend. We're playing Diablo, the new Diablo update.
Turn right heading 025. Cleared ILS.
And so in Diablo, you can adjust. I got the localizer armed. You can adjust the tiers, the difficulty, right? And I'm always trying to increase the difficulty because that's how you get better loot within the game. And he's like, "You're never satisfied, are you?" Well, that's the same thing with In-Flight Sim. In-Flight Sim, I'm always trying to get the best. You know, think about this. I had the Honeycomb Alpha for the longest time. I was very satisfied for that, but then tried the TCA, wasn't satisfied enough, so sent it back, kept the Alpha, and then went back to TCA, had a blast with it, but then I saw the Moza AY210 was at Micro Center, and I was like, well, heck, I want that. And now I'm satisfied with my yoke. I'm super satisfied with my MTQ throttle quadrants. I had the Bravo before that, but I'm super happy with what I have now. I'm super happy with the WinWing FCU. So I'm content with most of my hardware, my WinWing throttle, not WinWing, yeah, WinWing, what do they call it, rudder pedals. Super happy with those guys. That was one of the greatest purchases as well. Which I still need to go fix my other pedals that I tried to sell.
2,500.
All right, let's get some flaps down. We're going a little hot here. Bring the speed back. Part of the plan was to sell those pedals and then get the money to buy these WinWing. It's all worked out so far, but I need to fix those pedals. I think they're mostly fixed. I just got to get some epoxy so they look better. But I'll put in when I repost on eBay, I'll post on there that it was opened at one point, but they're fully functional. Although I got to test to make sure they are functional.
American 2097.
All right, gear coming down. Flaps 10.
Continue approach. American 2097.
All right, we got cleared approach. Gonna try jet. I eventually will. I'm really out of the career mode stuff still. So at one point I will, but I have no idea when. I'm just having a blast not having any kind of commitments to career mode. Alright, flaps 25. Bring back the speed. Let's arm the speed brakes.
American 2097. Contact San Antonio Tower 1.
And flaps 40. Over the tower.
119.8. American 2097.
Autopilot's off my aircraft.
San Antonio approach. San Antonio Tower.
1,000.
American 2097. On final 04.
American 2097, wind 336 degrees at 5 knots. Cleared to land, runway 04.
Alright, clear land runway 04.
Clear to land, runway 04. American 2097.
So you can see all that traffic already there on the left-hand side here in San Antonio, runway 4. Very cool to see all that. Not seen any planes moving yet. It's about 10 a.m. in San Antonio, their central time. Again, we're going to compare this on the second flight. Second flight's going to be all beyond ATC. We're going to see how...
400.
We're going to see the differences.
300. Approaching minimums. 200. Minimums.
And a pretty big FPS hit, though. Pretty big
100.
FPS hit. Stutters, at least. It's not like a
50.
FPS, I guess,
40,
just a
30.
stutters.
20. 10.
Floating. Get her down, buddy. Get her down. There you go.
San
Touchdown.
Antonio Tower, Southwest 724,
Reverse.
on final 13 right.
Southwest 724, number 2, continue approach.
Continue approach.
Continue approach. Southwest 724.
Slow down, slow down, slow down. Laps going up.
American 20907, when vacated, contact ground 121.9.
All right, landing lights are turned off. Spoilers disarmed. Welcome to San Antonio, Texas. The second flight, I think, will take.
San Antonio ground. American 2097.
I think we'll take the 737 out. Look at the map here. Yeah, I think we'll take the 737 out.
Taxi to gate Bravo 2 via November Delta Golf Golf.
Let's see what else we got. Sorry, I'm missing some chat here. Understandable. SI is pretty expensive. I paid for a year. When I was a membership comes up for renewal, I will have to assess what to do. Yeah. Yeah, I think, you know, with all memberships, you have to reassess it. You know, I've been reassessing the Navigraph stuff. Because mine's up in the fall. I tell you what, if I don't see that traffic stuff that's integrated with Navigraph after the expo, it's going to be a major consideration of me jumping ship. Using the default charts. I'll just use the data. I'll just pay the whatever it is, $40 a year for the data. Jetstar is great. Really got me into corporate jets, and I have a blast with it. Yeah, I've been thinking about getting the new FS Reborn plane as well. I'm just not a big jet. I'm not a big business. Look, this is weird. So they're also landing runway or takeoff, whatever. They're doing something. Runway 13. Looks like they're landing, because that's a slow plane if it's taking off. Did they tell us to cross or hold? Told us to hold short, 3 left, 13 right. Alright, so we can cross. Yeah, we can cross. Hold on. Short over runway 13.
American 2097.
Yeah, hold short, okay.
Contact San Antonio Tower 119.8.
But look at all the planes, man. Look at these.
119.8.
There's so many planes. Where'd that Southwest go? Right there.
What
the hell is he doing? All kinds of planes over there.
San Antonio Tower. American 2097. Request cross runway.
I saw
31 left, 13
FedEx
right,
back
21
over
right,
here.
13 left.
There's just so many planes.
American 20907, cross runway 31 left, 13 right, 31 right, 13 left. When vacated, contact ground 121.9.
Alright, so we got cleared to cross all the runways. That's crazy. Where'd that Southwest plane go?
13 right, 31 right, 13 left. When vacated, contact ground 121.9. American 2097.
That Southwest plane just kind of disappeared, huh? Okay. It is what it is. Alright, we got cleared to cross 13 right as well. And looks like we're going to be parking right over here next to that other American. I'll catch up with chat here in just a few moments. Sorry, everyone.
San Antonio ground. American 2097. Runway vacated. American 2097.
Alright, we're parking
Via Delta.
next to the American? Which one? Is it before?
Continue taxi. Via Delta. American 2097.
I can't tell. Which one are we, where are we going to? What's this? That's 6. Where are we parking? Parking where? B2, it's next. Okay, so that's this one here. Bravo 2. Alright, I'm getting rid of that guy. Taxi lights turned off. The cool thing is with FS HUD, you can just start a new flight right now. If I want to go right back to Dallas, I can certainly do that. Just load a new SimBrief profile or new SimBrief flight up and good to go. That's something I know Beyondatc is adding in the future. Not available currently. All right, so there's our flight with FS HUD. Now we're going to take a flight with Beyondatc next. So let's go ahead and close out the sim. We're going to close out FS HUD. FS HUD, eventually the traffic's going to disappear because I'm closing it out. There it goes. What I do like about FS HUD is that it also loads in the traffic right away. You don't have to like load in the flight. So that's really, really cool. Alright, let's go and get our second flight going here. So let's go to the main menu. I'm going to restart the sim, just to be fair on both of them. And also maybe this might fix my weird, whatever issue I'm having with the Moza. I'm actually going to turn off the Moza yoke, and then I'll re-enable it. All right, let that all settle down, and then let the Moza recalibrate. Let's see, what else we got? Sorry. Talk about Jetstar. See, Barry says, I'm using the WinWing throttle with an add-on. Oh yeah, the WinWing throttle looks really, really nice. RJ says, morning. He says, besides the usual small corporate jets, does Jetstar also have my Airbus and Boeings? It does. RJ says 340, 300, the 600, and the 320, and the 737 business jets. Also has the 777-200 as well. All right, let's go ahead and launch up Flight Sim. And I haven't bought Jet's card yet, Keith says. I was on their website checking it last night. Barry, Jet card has Boeing's BBJ and the Airbus private jet. Everything looks so clear. You're actually using the parking. Yeah, master copy. I'm actually using the fine parking spot. I kind of like the FS HUD voices. Maybe I'm just because I'm used to hearing Beyondatc from most other streamers. Well, I think they're fine. I think they're fine. Like I'm not a huge fan of them comparing it to Beyondatc. I think Beyondatc ones are better, but I think they're fine as well. I think they're fine. Like I think once you get enough flights under your belt, they start to sound decent. They're different. They're just, I don't know. They kind of sound more radio limited, which I guess is real life, right? I feel like Beyondatc and SI are both too real and clear, whereas FS HUD sounds just more. They sound more like they're coming via radio. SI also uses real interaction pre-recorded from other users, which often are annoying and have weird background noises or obvious the kids using them. Pretty sure you can turn it off. Yeah, you can turn it off. I turned it off when I was using it. That was way back in the day, too. Yeah, I turned that off way back then. All right, let me edit my SimBrief profile. Update the time. Use current time. Where the hell's the timer? Time. Oh, here we go. Departure time. There we go. Update it. Generate. It's the only thing I'm doing. Start flight. All right, 737-700. Does American fly the 700? Oh, let's do American West. We'll do American West livery. I like that livery. It's already loaded up anyways. All right, DFW. Some people are going to ask, why are you flying the same route? Well, because we want to get consistency, right? It's all about consistency. All right, so we're expecting 36. All right, so we're still expecting 36 right. So go here, which is interesting because that means the weather hasn't changed, or it has, but no one has updated it yet. That's interesting. Just Jet card is cheaper than both FS HUD and Beyondatc, so I'm considering it. Mr. Flight Sim budget is tapped. What was, I was just reading about another career mode add-on this morning. Shoot, what the heck's it called? It's like a bush one, Fantasy Flying or something like that. But it's like $6 a month for their career mode. I'm like, geez, $6 a month for a monthly career mode? I don't know if I'll ever want to pay for a monthly subscription to career mode. Like, I thought about it with iFly schedules, and then I started thinking about it more and more, and I'm like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to me. FSFO seems to handle traffic better than, say, Intentions and Beyondatc for me anyways. I think traffic works really, really well with FSHUD. We saw a weird thing there on departure initially, where they had planes landing in the other direction. USB disconnecting had me looking to see if something disconnected on my PC. Yeah, whenever I watched 757 Spy, whenever I watch his stuff, which I haven't watched really any streamer for a while. What's going on here? Is there technical issues with the servers? He would also often have something going on. What's going on? It's not loading. If I don't see the plane load, that makes me think that there's always some technical issues. So let's try it again. Once the plane pops up, I'm like, all right, it's all fine. I don't want to have to restart again. Again? I don't know if it's loading. There we go. That was just weird. Weird, weird, weird as always. Alright, let the sim load in for a couple seconds here. You always want to just be cautious initially. Take it easy, take it easy. No one's in a hurry here. We're just flying, folks, just flying. Alright, smooth performance here in the sim so far. Is my buttons working? Hey, it's back. Yeah, for some reason. Alright, I gotta fix my chase plane. I did change one button because I didn't know what was going on. We gotta change this guy, remove this guy, hit this button, save it. Alright, we're back in business again. Chase plane is operational. Alright, I don't know why it wasn't before, but it is now. Alright, let's go ahead and launch up Beyond ATC. As we do. And I'm going to update... Let's see, Beyond ATC... new update test. Save it. Just make it this way the channel, this way the numbers are correct. I don't want people coming in here, it doesn't look like Beyond ATC. People do that. Alright, connect. So it's going to be connecting to the sim. Allow. ATC connected. Why is it asking me to allow that? Okay, I noticed it seems to make money in Jet Card. You gotta do long flights. I'm a Lex fan. I do hour and a half flights. Yep. You know me well, Keith. It's rare that I'll do long hauls, especially on. I won't do them on stream. I just won't do them on stream. If there's something really crazy to showcase, where I think we'll have enough views and all that jazz, keep conversations going. But eventually, I get bored of myself. Ground power's on. Oh, I already turned that on. All right, that's good. Am I missing something? Why is this not on? What's going on here? Something. I missed something somewhere, didn't I? Ground power off. Ground power on. APU's firing up. Why is the McDo not showing up? Release ground power. What's going on here? APU's available. What's the problem here now, folks? What's the problem? We have a WASM crash? Alright, what am I doing? Your battery closes the loop. Battery's on. Battery off. Battery on. Ground power's connected. We have no power here, though. ¿Por qué? Nothing showing up anywhere. I think it's a WASM crash. So I have APU. Nothing's showing up anywhere. I think it's a WASM crash. What do y'all think? Oh, there's already a freaking plane moving beyond ATC. It's crazy. Alright. Let's do this again then, shall we? Isn't it fun? Alright, close beyond ATC, so I'll relaunch that again. I don't understand what happened there. Load back in. Maybe it was something with that initial load got goofed up. Because the second load was like super fast. Do you want to try SI if it supports China language ATC? I don't know, does it support China language? Chinese language? There's no ATC software that does that. Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think any of them. Alright, how are we looking? Good here. Alright, before we get too far, let's just see what we can do here. Flight bag, I don't know if we have to restart the sim again. Battery's on. There we go, that's all working. Yeah, so, yeah, it's just a WASM. Some weird WASM issue. Alright, let's relaunch beyond ATC. Alright, and then we need to go to the top. Oh, what now? Alright, that's working out. Jeez Louise. Okay. Nav. We'll get there, folks. This is like FS HUD creeping in and be like, no, you can't showcase another ATC product. I will not allow it. Alright, flight level 300. I like to do the lights right away, get the APU fired up. Seatbelt sign. I do this all the way to on, because else I have a weird issue. Which I need to fix. I'm just lazy. There's some weird... the way I have the button set up with the Moza... it tries to... It messes with the lights. I need to switch the light switches to being controlled by Mobiflight instead of the sim. That will fix the issue. I read about it deep on the internet. I found the ways. Alright, over here, go to stairs, get rid of those guys, and then we're going to go over to performance tools. Runway 36 right is what we're expecting for departure. Import all this jazz. Good to go there. Okay, load this guy. Let's go ahead and get beyond ATC going. Clearance. Hello.
Envoy 250, ready to copy FR clearance to Louisville standing for
Oh, and if you speed up time, Jet Card seems to prorate the cash you earn, which is why I had to oh, interesting. So you can do a lot of well, I guess yes. The pilot site does it as well. My OCD is kicking in. Close the battery guard. It's closed.
Cleared to Louisville Standy for Phi Airport. A Niner departure then is filed.
That's good.
Climb by a
All right, 36 right.
Departure frequency
I was having
25125.
technical issues, man. Get off my case.
Runway 250, read back correct. Contact ground 121.85 when ready for push or start.
Ground 121.85 when ready for pushback or engine start. Envoy 250.
DFW clearance. Hello from American 2097. We are ready for IFR clearance to San Antonio.
Envoy 3776. Request
All right,
IFR
load
clearance.
this guy up.
Victorian Airport.
Execute. Flight level 300.
Envoy 3776.
300.
DFW clearance. Verify you have information whiskey. Cleared to Torian Airport.
Oh yeah, you got to say you have information now. I forgot that. I forgot about that. They added that in there.
Maintain 5,000
Whoops.
feet.
It's gonna be. It's gonna say something like that. Verify you have the information. I think as well for us because I didn't see it.
6221. Cleared
That's
to
cool.
Torian
I forgot that they added that.
Go pool 8 departure with the Hori transition then is filed.
Hoary.
Maintain 5,000
Such a
feet.
Hoary.
Departure frequency 125.
All right, Jasper 7 window transition.
221.
Execute.
Runway 3776.
Arrival. 4.
3776.
It all looks like it's going to be the
Correct.
same as long as Beyondatc ATC doesn't decide otherwise.
Ground 121.85 when ready for pushback or engine start. Envoy 3776. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, fuel pumps.
American 2097 DFW clearance. Verify you have information whiskey.
Yeah.
Cleared to San Antonio
I have
Airport.
information whiskey. I have some whiskey in the cabin here.
Climb by a SID.
Irishman and King Bob will be happy to see that.
125. Squawk 5063.
All right. Got that all good.
To San
Ground.
Antonio Airport.
Remove all this jazz.
Jasper
Runway
7
36 right.
departure,
Perfect.
Then as filed. Climb by a SID. Departure frequency 125.125. Squawk 5063. American 2097.
American 2097, read that correct. Contact ground 2185 when
There's a
ready for
full
pushback
motion
or
of the
engine start.
320 that's at the expo.
American 2097. Have a
There's
good
a
one.
partial and a full one. Are you going to do that, King Bob? I'm going to sign up for it. DFW ground, American 2097, ready for pushback and engine starts. I think we are.
American 2097, DFW ground, pushback approved. Face south.
Face the
Pushback
south.
and engine start approved. Face south.
Let's see, my
American
OCD kicking in.
2097.
Sorry about that, I'm drunk. Not really. Keith says I paid $30 for an app that assured that the sim would run correctly every time I hit the fly button. Yeah, good luck with that. Although it's almost noon here. Oh my gosh, yeah, if there was an app that actually would fix the sim all the time, that would be fantastic. No such thing would ever exist, though. We're going to be facing the south, folks. South. All right, let's go ahead and commence our pushback to the south. To the top we go, APU bleed on. Right engine, number 2, clocking. Not clucking, but clocking. Rotation happening. Let's go ahead and get our trim down to 539. About there. P2, you're back. Welcome back, P2. Good landing, good flight with FS HUD, no major issues. Other than the departure, that was kind of funky. Traffic here with number 5 across the board with with the Beyond ATC is kind of limited. Click happen. I guess we'd have to count the planes for sure to know if FS HUD had more. Performance actually is really good, but again, I think there's less planes. I think there's less planes. All right, we'll turn here in just a few moments here. See if I can get a better turn than the last flight. Engine number 1. Flaps coming down. 1, 2, and 3. Making the turn. I absolutely love this freaking pushback tool, man. Freaking love it. Ah, I was just off a little bit, man. Just a hair. I'm getting better. Alright. Disconnect. Cool, thank you. DFW ground, American 2097, ready for taxiing to the active. To the top, gens on. Continuous, both.
36 right taxi via Golf, Whiskey Romeo.
Auto and APU is off. Taxi lights on, tugs going bye-bye. Bye-bye. Alright, taxi via Golf Whiskey Romeo. So we're going all the way down to the end. So we're doing the exact same thing we did for the last flight. Throttle going forward. We have a we had a spirited convo on pizza making. I want to buy a pizza oven. We'll see what happens when we move this this fall. Got to figure out the numbers on all that stuff still, but I would love to get a pizza oven, an outdoor pizza oven. All right, let's go and let's bring up the guy at the top. Forgot to do that earlier. Does the stream still look good? Stream performance is still good, not like crappy, doesn't look spotty. I think my little trick I found works. Although it doesn't look as good as it looked earlier. At least the preview I'm seeing, I guess. Apparently if you like turn off the preview you get better performance, but then you don't get to see what's going on. Knowing me, I would screw that up. It'd be cool if there's a way to do remote preview, if you can preview it on a different device. Maybe they offer that. Maybe there's a plugin for OBS. One thing I think that's already apparent is we're seeing more movement of traffic with Beyond ATC than we were seeing with FS HUD, right? And maybe it's just a placebo effect, but I feel like we are. There was one plane that was landing on the runway we were taking off, and that was a whole issue there. I don't remember seeing much traffic on the ground though, like moving around. There was traffic parked, but I didn't see a lot of traffic moving about. Whereas we already see this one moving here, taxiing on there. We heard one moving behind us. Right there, I think. So yeah, we're already hearing and seeing planes moving about. It's limited park traffic though. I can easily increase the traffic, right? But I want to go to default. I'm trying to go default, to, you know, just to be fair. I had a weird issue with Beyond ATC yesterday, I think it was, where I had to do a complete full uninstall with Revo. We had a plane coming in, I thought I saw.
American 2097, contact DFW, Tower 124.15.
Maybe not. Should have streamed cooking a Ryanair lasagna. I thought about doing like a chef's kind of thing, because I do a little bit of cooking. DFW Tower, American 2097, ready to go, runway 36 right. Taxi lights on, auto throttles on. Line up and wait.
Runway 36 right, American 2097.
Ooh, P2's heading to the store to get some pizza dough. Get some pizza dough. Yeah, I thought about doing it, like a cooking thing. I thought about it several times, baking and cooking. I like baking more, I think, but make some pizza, calzones, lasagna, lasagna. My wife calls she calls it donuts, but she said when she was growing up, her dad would call them dog nuts. Which, I don't know, doesn't make it seem tasty after you hear that. Yeah, we're definitely seeing more movement of traffic here. Less park traffic, but more movement of traffic with Beyond ATC. Rotate. Woo. Gear up. I did switch. I'm not using my tiller anymore. And I don't know what's going on, if I've had a bad unit or what, but it won't maintain center. When I move it left and right, it won't go back to center. Won't go back to center when I'm moving it. I don't remember which direction it is. One of the two. Left or right, one of the two. And I open it up, and I think if I spray or put some more grease in it, I think I could probably fix it. But I need to get some grease. I just haven't committed myself to do it. But I was liking it, but then I noticed I was having to overcorrect all the time when taxiing. And I'm like, well, this is not fun anymore. So, until I get that rectified, I don't even have it attached to the mount anymore, to the clamp. Alright, full flaps up. Good departure from beyond ATC. No issues whatsoever with it. So far, at least. Knock on wood. Like, again, the FS HUD flight was really good. There's no major issues with it as well. Well, I guess technically, if you want to consider it, and autopilot's on, it was using, you know, the same runway for departure and landing in the opposite direction. That's a kind of an issue. We saw that on the radar, whereas beyond ATC is not, since using the correct runway 36 right. That I would assume they're using in real life because that's what SimBrief is pulling, but obviously SimBrief's not always right as well. So there's that. But you know, I've been saying it throughout all the streams today and the streams in the past that no matter what ATC program you use, you're going to run into issues. You're gonna have a problem with something, right? That's just how it's going to be. That's just kind of part of, you know, how it all works out. So yeah, love to see Lex on VATSIM. Oh gosh, I think Lex is ready for VATSIM. I thought about it several times in the past. The problem is when you stream, okay, King Bob, you've streamed sometimes, right? So you know when you stream, you're having conversations. You're not always focused on the flight itself, which I tell you what, for creators that stream on VATSIM, more power to you. You are a god of multitasking. I apparently can't operate that way. I screw up alone with ATC, with the AI ATC, let alone real life. I've thought about it several times. I thought about it very, 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 very many times. If not, to be sure, funny times hearing him get a phone, get the phone numbers. Yeah. Yeah, I've thought about it many, many times. I guess I get banned from that too, I suppose. What's the worst that could happen? I don't use it very often, so might as well go. I just get banned from not using it. Oh boy. What could possibly go wrong? I should, volume's really low.
Have a good one.
Increase the volume a little bit.
Fort Worth Center.
You know what?
2097. Good day. Climbing
I'm gonna spoil myself. Let's do some premium voices. Or, did I do the right one? Controller, yeah. Alright.
American 2097, Fort Worth Center. Climb and maintain.
Yeah, premium voices is so freaking nice. There is a certain captain in Canada that is great at it, and he answers just about every chat. Yeah, I don't know how people do it. 757 Spy does it as well. He's exclusively the BATC, and he has no problem able to stream, communicate with the chat, and also BATC. But like, man, you got to program yourself to do that. I have a hard time. And then I got to listen for my call sign. I guess if I use the call sign I'm familiar enough with, like I use 516 for just test flights. So whatever livery I'm flying, American 516. I hear 516, I might be all right. It would be an interesting experience, though. I've always thought about it. I've thought about making a video. Can an AI ATC pilot use VATSIM? I've thought about it for a very long time. I tried VATSIM once during an event. I all of a sudden forgot how to fly. It was a hot mess. Well, the stress, right? There's something about... I was stressed... Okay, when I first got into SI, I was stressed about dealing with the other people hearing my voice, right? On the SI network. I was stressed about that. I wasn't even streaming much at the time. I was nervous about that kind of stuff. And now as a content, quote-unquote content creator, it is what it is with that. Like, you talk. I remember there was one... I was working on a video once with SI, and it was... I don't remember if it was a personal video or if it was something with them. But anyways, I was working on it, and I realized as I was talking... Right, it's supposed to be for the video. I realized as I was talking that I was holding down the push to talk button at the same time, and I'm talking like 2 minutes. So for 2 minutes, there was an MP3 clip that was saved for 2 minutes of me talking about whatever the hell I was talking about for the flight. And I went to Brian. I was like, "Yo, I made a stupid mistake. I was working on a video. I was holding on the button. It wasn't supposed to be talking. It's out there now. It's going to be pre-recorded. You want to find it and remove it?" And he's like, "What'd you say?" I was like, I don't remember. I think it was a tutorial video. And he's like, "Ah, the hell with it. Don't worry about it." I'm sure other people have heard this 2-minute long conversation of me just babbling on about whatever the hell. They're probably like, "What the hell is this guy talking about?" Because it wasn't like at the beginning of it either. It was like somewhere in the middle. Oh my gosh. And dealing with the donation trolls like 777. Never fly VATSIM during events. Oh yeah, I won't do an event. I will definitely not do an event if I ever do it. King Bob says 100%. Talking to Beyondatc SI, no issues. Talking to another real person on VATSIM, I'm like babbling idiot. Yeah. Well, that's why, like, I'm curious about how with the expo coming up. The expo, is whatever 3 weeks away or so. And, how am I going to be with other people there? When you stream at home, I've learned that at any point I can hit the button and I'm no longer streaming. Right? I can just, I'm in my little happy place. When I'm going to be at the expo, I'm going to be live. There's going to be, hundreds of other people around. When I'm trying to record, I'm going to be awkward recording. Like, okay, I went grocery shopping yesterday. I was talking to my dad on the phone. I always hate people talking on their phone when they're shopping. I was that idiot yesterday. I thought it was going to be a quick call, but he talked for an hour. So the entire time I'm shopping and talking on the phone with him, and I felt uncomfortable because I wasn't in my happy place. I wasn't in my contained place, right? It was just really weird, right? Captain, thank you so much for another 5 gifted memberships. We got 25 new members today. 15 courtesy of Captain, and then one more second. Sorry. Z-Money donated 10 earlier today as well. So thank you so much for all the memberships today. Thank you for all the support on the channel. Much appreciated. Polder, thank you. Welcome into the channel. Mexican, welcome in. Fun Motion. The Mr. Broboss. No. Yeah, Broboss. And then the Mel Co-op, sorry. All courtesy of Captain. Thank you again, Captain, so much for the memberships today. 15 from you today. Much, much appreciated. P2, what type of pizza are you going to get first? Straight up plain or cheese? I would probably do cheese. For the first one, I do cheese, just to kind of test out the waters, right? Because if you make a good cheese pizza, that means a pepperoni or bacon or sausage, you know, would also be, in theory, very good, right? In theory. Gotta go enjoy the remainder of your holiday weekend, everyone. Thank you again, Captain. You have a great weekend as well. Ooh, that voice is weird. It sounds like a movie theater.
American 2097 through flight level 270 for flight level 300 direct window.
Hold on. I gotta change that to female.
American 2097 Fort Worth Center.
That's why. I was like, that voice sounds familiar. I can't figure out why. It's like a deep voice, a captain. Or a co-pilot. I am American 2055. Again, thank you so much to the captain for the 15 memberships today. Have a great weekend. Have a great holiday weekend. Hopefully you have a nice long weekend like mine. I'm very fortunate. My boss is very nice to me, so he gave me Tuesday off as well. The only thing that sucks about the whole thing is I work. So I had Wednesday off last week. Well, I guess this week technically still, right? And then I worked Thursday, Friday, and then I got 4 days off. But then I go back to work. I work 4 days, got a day off, and go back for 5. So I'm working 9 out of, hold on. What is that? 9 out of 10 days when I go back to work. So that's not going to be fun. But, you know, it is what it is. And then they got the expo coming up after that. So, so then I'll have a day off. Boy, I'm working a lot of days actually coming up now I think about it. That's, well, geez, I got to do the math. King Bob has been here 11 months. Thank you so much for the 11 months, King Bob. Much, much appreciate the support you've given here on the channel. It's great to have you with the communication, the insight of SI. It's always been great. It's always been great. The majesty has been amazing. Okay, so let's look at the numbers here. So that's 4. That's 5. So that's 9 out of 10 days. Oh, that's not right. Hold on. No. It's 8 out of 10 days. Because I have a random day off there. I don't remember what day it is, though. Okay. So I got... So that's 1, 2... 1, 2, 3. Alright, 3 days off there, so that's... Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17, 16. So out of 16 days, I will have off 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I'll work 13 out of 16 days. Which I guess is pretty close to a regular life, right? A regular Monday through Friday gig. 13 out of 16 days, 2 weeks. Out of 14 days, you'll work 10. That's pretty close to it. That's not terribly off. Kubi, welcome in. Love the video resolution on my TV. Nice. Yeah, I increased the size of it. And we'll see how things go. But so far, everything's been fine. Not one to toot my own horn, but... What the hey? The king has arrived. Is the smoothness good though, P2? I think the smoothness is broken again. It's really good on my freaking thing, but is it like 60 FPS or does it look like it's lower than that 60 FPS? I found a fix, but I wonder if that fix applies to every single time I have to use the fix every single time. I might look at doing a permanent one. There's a way to do it permanent, and there's a way to do it, I guess, temporary. Alright, let's set up for the arrival. Runway 4 currently says not in use. Let's ask Fort Worth Center, though, what our arrival is supposed to be. Fort Worth Center, American 2097. What's the arrival runway in San Antonio today?
Fort Worth Center, Envoy
doesn't look 60 FPS to me. Oh, it doesn't look like it. Okay, yeah, so something's up with that still. I think it's when I did the sim restart, it disabled whatever the hell I did.
American 2097, San Antonio's active arrival runways are tree 1 right and tree 1 left.
Ah, I got runway changes. Alright, runway change. Which makes sense because it says not in use. So 3-1, although they all say not in use. Alright, well, I guess we'll see as we get closer into San Antonio, I guess. I was going to set up for the arrival, but I guess we'll do it closer to. It's going to be... I think it's going to be right. No. I think it's going to be left. I'm going to set up for left. Yeah, I'll set up for left. I think that's where it's going to end up being. 3-1 left, execute. Got that all set. I think we had an error, right? No, I guess not. That's we already did that. That's good. Okay, cool. Let's put everything else in. 1109. 1109. I need to just rebuild my OBS profile, I think. Just start from scratch. I'm not quite sure what happened with that. I didn't used to have to do this fix, and I'd rather not have to do the fix. I'd rather just work like I used to. But even all my recordings through the NVIDIA, or sorry, through the Xbox game bar thing is broken. Everything's just not as smooth as it used to be. Just a pain in the butt. 990, or sorry, yeah, 990 for the minimums. Almost there. 990 in the box, and altitude will drop down to, we'll put it down to, hold on. Let's see. 6,000. We'll put us down to 6,000 feet. So we saw some news from FSS when it comes to the EJET. They're making progress on it, like they always say they're making progress on it, and we'll see if we actually see a final version at some point down the road. It would be nice. But we'll kind of see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't want to do another... I could do like Revo uninstall with OBS, and and then just restart my profiles with it, and that should solve it. There's also other issues I'm having with OBS. So I think I'm going to do that, actually. I'm going to do a Revo uninstall, completely wipe it out. Oh, that's not going to fix the issues with Xbox Game Bar. The question is, why did it start all of a sudden? And it was like a few updates, it was after the first restart or Windows reinstall I did. Somewhere within there, something got broken. So again, it's not going to solve it. I'm trying to figure out why. Maybe I have the optimization on Flight Sim, and that's what... Yeah, that might be it. I'll have to look into that. Maybe it's the optimization thingy. The full screen optimization. I can't remember. There's definitely some settings I must have messed with before that I forgot that I did to make it all work. I still want to do OBS, though. Clear it all out. Start from scratch with it. Not that much of a pain. Might be good to do that during this time off. I don't know if I'll stream again in the next 2 days. Kind of leave it up in the air to see what happens. I do need to get another video work done at some point. So we'll kind of see how that all works.
Contact Houston
I know I need
Center
to. My
1004,
nephew wants to play American Truck Sim, so I need to do that, and I also need to get some Diablo
Houston
4 in
Center,
with a friend.
American 2097, good day.
And I need to
Flight
get back to playing some.
level
They go Batman. Oh, so I also got the Yoshi game for the Switch too, and it's a very different game. It's very much a cozy game. I think P2. I think you'd like it. You don't always have a Switch, but I think you'd like it. It's a very just kind of relaxing game. It's like a puzzle game. You go about the little map and you discover how to do certain things. And I'm kind of stuck at one spot right now. I gotta, because I can't figure out how to get the apple. I wasn't paying enough attention, I guess, to it, so I gotta restart it, which takes seconds. But yeah, I need to try that. Xbox Game Bar has been buggy lately for me. It won't do screen captures anymore. Oh, really? It won't do screen captures at all? Huh, I wonder if there's something wrong with that, then. I use Game Bar to record, because I found it better than the NVIDIA app at recording stuff. But maybe I guess I can switch over to it? I don't know. There's something else going on, though. It's something to do with like the way Windows Desktop Manager handles frame gen. But like I've watched other people's videos with frame gen on and it's nice and smooth, so it's definitely something on my end. I just forgot what I did to fix that. And like when you search up things or work with AI to come up with answers, it doesn't help because you're looking for a certain terminology.
Houston Center, American 2097, leaving flight
I don't remember what it was, and it bothers me sometimes.
Runway 31 left.
Trying to figure it out.
American 2097, Houston Center.
Yeah, I switched because I was using the Xbox Game Bar. Or sorry, I was using the NVIDIA one for a while, and then I switched over to the Xbox Game Bar because I felt like the performance was better. But maybe I should look at the NVIDIA app again. Just with streaming or with captures also, both of them. Yeah, both of them. I don't understand. But I found this program. It's called Force Composed Flip. Weird name. I'll show it here on stream real quick though. And so I had it enabled initially, but I guess when I restart the flight or the sim, it stops. But let me bring it up. So here it is. So it's this program here, and you can download. It's called Force Compose Flip, and it forces Windows Desktop Window Manager to use Compose Flip a presentation instead of the independent flip, enabling screen captures APIs, all that jazz, to capture DLSS frame generation when streaming. It's with these two things, but it also works with OBS. This solves a long-standing issue where real rendered frames are captured during streaming, while frame gen interpoled frames are invisible to the stream, effectively halving the frame rates, which is what it seems to do right now with my OBS. I just need to figure out. I didn't use this program in the past. I need to figure out if there's you can do it all the time right here, so you can manually do it, use this regedit, or you can use this program and then you can start it, turn it on and off whenever you want. There are some cons though. One was what was the big con? There was a big con. That it could cause some issues with something else. Oh, with streaming. Disney, Netflix, and all that jazz. It can cause some issues with that. But it's only supposed to affect the main monitor, not the second monitor. So I do my streaming on the second monitor most of the time. So. Alright, we haven't got descending via Corvo. Oh yeah, I guess we got clearance. Okay, descending via Corvo 1. Yeah, we got a clearance to descend. So plane should start descending here in a second. My preset hyper train. Oh, what's all that? Waiting to see what the upcoming Falcon 50 jet brings to the sim. Love me a cheap tri-jet. The MD-11's a fun plane. I thought about buying the L1011, but I never did. I don't have it in me to learn a new plane right now. Which is one of the reasons why I have not bought the business jet as well. On top of the fact that I'm not a big business jet guy. I was initially, but I stopped. When this, think about when the sim first came out, we didn't really have a lot of options with airliners, so I started flying the business jets that are available in there. But once we had the airliners, the CRJ to start off with, I pretty much lost interest in every other business jets or any business jets that are out there. So I found that I'm definitely more into the airliner stuff. I've gotten back into GA stuff a little bit more. I thought I was going to get to a lot more. I still haven't tried the updated PC-12, which is crazy. But so I need to dabble back into the VFR stuff. I don't know. I definitely found my passion is hugely into the airliner stuff. And I don't think I'm ever going to get back into GA stuff like I used to. Contrail is bringing the Falcon 50. Oh, really? You're loving the Citation X? Yeah. I just can't get into the airliner, to the business jets. I don't know why. I bet you if I jumped into it more and spent some more time into it, I might be able to. They're very similar to the airliners. They're just smaller planes, right? And they go fast as heck. And it's the same kind of setup process, right? It's pretty much the same kind of setup. I don't know what's... There's definitely something that's holding me back. I can't quite figure it out. Can't quite figure it out at all. Okay, so we're landing in a different runway than what we got with FS HUD, but the weather has changed. The weather has... The wind has moved. It's no longer MVFR conditions in San Antonio, which is good. So it's all VFR conditions. So in theory, we'll get a visual for runway 31 left. The question is, how will the vectors be for runway 31 left? That's the question mark. I was actually, I was thinking about this the other day, well, the last week or so, 2 weeks or so. And I was contemplating joining Team AMD. And I was talking to my nephew. I was like, well, if I were to go and get an AMD, setup, would you be willing to buy my 14700K? And he's like, yeah, probably. The thing is, though, it's not really worth it. So there's a lot of factors with all of this. Okay, there's a lot of factors with all this. The only title that gives me performance issues, and that's only with traffic, is Flight Sim. Every other title is flawlessly smooth. Yeah, sure, I use FrameGen or DLSS with them, but like optimization's out the window now with titles, it seems like, which is super unfortunate. But it's only Flight Sim. I'm only chasing performance with Flight Sim. Will a AMD 9800, 9850 give me a boost? Absolutely, there'd be a slight boost with 1% or something. But is it going to make it that much more stable? In FPS and all that? Probably not. Probably not. It's probably going to be very similar to what I'm getting now. Plus or minus 5 frames. It's not that big, right? The biggest thing I think I have... If I already had a motherboard that was DDR5, and I had DDR5, I might be more willing to do it. But the fact is, I got to get more RAM. I got to get a new RAM, right? Because the new ones are DDR5. The bundles at Micro Center are for 32 gigs, and we're talking already $700 for the package: CPU, motherboard, and RAM. But I'd also want to get back to my 64 gigs of RAM. And RAM's super expensive now. And I don't know if I can deal with going back to... I don't know how Flight Sim... I don't remember how Flight Sim deals with 32 gigs of RAM. I'm sure it's fine. But everything I've been reading about it is I'm probably going to see the stutters at 32 gigs. So like... Or gigabytes, sorry. So like, that's going to then just make things not much better than what I have now. So I'm just going to be wasting money. And then there'll probably be a new chip that comes out down the road. It makes me think I should have just freaking gone DDR5 like I was thinking about doing a while back ago, way before all the, you know, AI stuff took all of our stuff. Way back then, but I never did. Because I was like, it's not that big of a difference between DDR5 and DDR4. And there really isn't. In terms of, you know, what I do, flight simming or games or whatever, you know, like there's very little difference with it. You're not going to see a massive boost in performance for the cost. For the cost. But I should have done it, I didn't do it, and now I regret that decision. Because I think it would have been an easier decision to go that direction. But I'm very happy with my 14700K. I'm very, very much happy with it. Again, it's just flight sim makes me want to do things that I shouldn't be doing. And I try to remind myself that, no, you don't need to do anything different. Stop trying to chase. And we're talking about on the ground. Here in the sky, I'm getting super smooth performance. It doesn't show it on the stream, I know. But like, I'm getting my 100 FPS right here. 100%. It's super butter smooth here. But it's on the ground, when you add the traffic, when you go into a heavy airport, right, that's where the stutters happen. And that's just a limitation. That's just a limitation of the sim. I don't think any systems ever, you know, at least with a 5080. I think if I got a 5090, I have that little boost in there, that VRAM boost. But even with the VRAM, like right now I'm using 12 out of my 16. So I still have a 4 gig headroom with VRAM. You know what I mean? So like, my system has the headroom. I just need to stop thinking about it, get it out of my head, and all will be fine. The world will be fine. Alright, we're 40 nautical miles out from the airport, which means we've probably got another 15-ish minutes or so on the flight. And that will be the end of the day. So, like I said, let's reflect a little bit. FS-HUD was very good on the flights. Park traffic was good. Moving traffic was limited, right? The departure, well, we had planes landing in the opposite direction of the runway we were landing at, which wasn't great, right? And that's a bit of a problem. And that was the only issue I think we had with FS-HUD. A lot of cool traffic when we landed in San Antonio. Little FPS hit, but any builds is a heavier airport with San Antonio, so that could have been the major culprit with that, along with OBS stream, right? Beyond ATC, knock on wood, so far has been flawless. Departure was great. Everything's been great on the flight so far. We're going to see how the vectors are. That's always the question, and how that works out, right? I made the switch because AMD promised multi-gens of CPUs on the current platform. They better live up to it. Yeah, there's that big factor as well. Major factor. Alright, landing lights, taxi lights are turned on. Did you try Captain Canada's settings, lock at 30, then DLS2 to get clean 60 FPS for streaming? Well, here's the problem. Once you go to, and I think King Bob can agree with this one, once you hit 100 FPS or more with your high refresh rate monitor, it is very difficult to go back. It is very, very difficult to go to 60 FPS. Very difficult. And high refresh rate monitors, especially OLEDs, don't like lower frame rates. They don't like 60 FPS. And it's wild to say 60 FPS is a low frame rate. But yeah, once you go to those 100 plus FPS monitors, It is very, very difficult to go back to a 60 FPS. Very, very difficult. And I think YouTube limits FPS to 60 FPS, right? I'm pretty sure. So like, yeah, for the stream, would it look better? Yeah. Me as the, you know, the person trying to enjoy the experience of the sim, not so much. You know, but like if you, like, okay, so my Switch 2, they all run at 60 FPS. Most of the games run at 60 FPS on that, right? And it's fine. It's a small little screen. It's not OLED. It's fine for what it is. But when you're used to a like, you know, what's an example I can give? You go to the theater, and most movies are filmed at 24 frames. You can see it, right? But because the screen's so damn big, you don't notice that as much. But then you get home, or you get the digital version or whatever, and you see the 24 frames on your TV. You're like, oh, this is crap. That's why TV's added in the motion stuff in there, right? So that it doesn't look as blurry. The soap opera effect, quote unquote, that a lot of people disable. But that feature's there. Some OLED monitors, some higher end monitors offer like that motion clarity as well. And that's supposed to be what G-Pulse offers for monitors, is to clean up some of that motion, so it looks smoother, right? But when you add that stuff in there, that's where you add in latency, frame gen. King Lab says exactly. Yeah, it's very, very difficult to, once you experience a higher resolution or a higher, well, that too. I'm sure once you go to 4K, it's hard to go back. I've been with the 3440 by 1440p for 5 years now. I think, yeah, 5 years, about 5 years. And I don't know if I can go back to 1080p, you know, with anything. I've been ultra wide for 5 years. I can't go back to 1080p. I can't do it. I love having all this extra real estate in you know, space to see. It's incredible. You know, think about it right now. If I was on a 1080 monitor, you know, I'd be cutting off all this on the side here, right, with my mouse, all this over here on the left, and probably all this vertical, at least the vertical speed here. So I'd have from here to here, right? And yeah, it's not a whole lot. You're not missing a lot, but I like seeing out the window here, right? Like to see a little bit there. I love seeing the vertical speed. I love knowing the autopilot's on with this aircraft. I love seeing the second primary flight display here. There's just so many things you get used to when you have an ultralight monitor. Once you get used to higher FPS, 60 FPS looks, yeah, for sure. That's one thing with like VR. Like I tested out American Truck Sim in VR last Sunday, and it was a cool experience. It was cool. Like, it was what I want. It's what I would regret it selling my Tobii eye tracker. Is like, I was like, oh man, I forgot how when I was using American Truck in the past, like having the head tracker and being able to turn your head when you turn, freaking awesome experience, man. And if I used American Truck Sim enough, I would be like, I gotta buy a new one again. I gotta buy a head tracker again. But I don't think I'm going to, so I'm not gonna commit the money to it. On that note, I actually sold, on that note, I sold my R3, my Moza R3, and I'm using my yoke as my wheel now. Done. I got $200 out of the R3. So, worked out good. It was sitting there collecting dust. I have my rudder pedals. I do a great job at the brakes and gas. The Moza yoke is a fantastic steering wheel as well. And I don't have to worry about moving things anymore. Oh, this works out great. I used the Moza wheel for a couple days doing a truck sim. And I was like, this is cool, this is great. But it's a pain in the ass to move. And you know what? The yoke does just fine. Keith says, I agree. Was just curious to your thoughts. My OLED doesn't like 60 lock either. Fantastic with G-Sync, with everything above. Butter if locked at 70 or 80. Yeah, for sure, yeah. 90 is the butter for me. Anything lower than 90s where I start this, I can see the... It's not tearing, but it's, you know, whatever, the weird effect. I can see it on there. Alright, here we are at our 6,000 feet. King Bob says, when my Ultra died, went 4K, used to think I wouldn't see a difference, but the smaller PPI also, makes a huge difference, so much clearer. Yeah, but there is a trade-off. 4K is also harder on the sim to run, for sure. Yeah, I won't go 4K. I won't do it because I know it's going to be even harder to run the sim. You know, a 5090 would be fine with it. A 5080 and lower, going to be harder for sure. But yeah, I'm sure it's pretty darn impressive, the clarity, you know, the smaller pixel sizes, I'm sure. So you see how like FS HUD had to swing out to the left a little bit more? Beyondatc is having to swing into the right more. Very interesting differences. Alright, so let's go to heading mode. They haven't cleared us to descend further, but they're going to be the visual approach runway 31 left. So I'm going to go ahead and start our descent down to 3,100. Or sorry, 2,700. Actually, I'm going to wait just a little bit here. We're going to see what Beyondatc is going to do. Captain rocks a 60 hertz monitor, so I guess it all syncs up. He runs a 60 FPS monitor? Or 60 hertz monitor? Interesting. Let's see, I wonder why he's doing 60. I suppose he's primarily a streamer. Also, that's running a 5090 and a 90. Oh, I didn't know he had a 5090.
Turn right, heading 240, descend and maintain 4,300 feet, altimeter 3004, vectors for the approach.
Vectors for the approach, 240, and descending.
Descend and maintain 4,300 feet. Altimeter 3004, American 2097.
Alright, descent's in progress, making our turn on over. Good vector so far. Good descent instructions. Yep, 2K at 60. Interesting. Wow, King Bob, I didn't know you had a 5090. I thought you had a 5080 as well. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna hold off on any kind of major PC stuff because I need to make sure I have the money for moving, which is more important at this point. I got the expo coming up, but the expo shouldn't be too bad. The most expensive part's probably already done with the tickets. You know, gas is going to be a little pricey, but you know, based on the initial calculations, about $100. That's not bad. Probably not $100 of food, so we're talking about $200. The expensive part would have been flights and gas, but I mean hotel, but staying with my father-in-law, which is great, and then just driving, don't need to fly. Chris says I have a 4070 Ti Super and locked at 60 FPS. Yeah, I think that's a good one for that. We have the field in sight, American 2097. If you don't say that, then it freaks out. Alright, localizer, clear for the approach, make the turn over. So it didn't give me a final vector to turn, just told me heading 240, so I don't like that, but so we're going to overshoot. We overshot a little bit here. Look at my 4090 at Micro Center to get $1,500. You got $1,500 for your 4090? Damn. They're gonna give me I think it was about $700 for my 4080. I ended up selling it on eBay for $1,000. I think it was $1,000. So it worked out really well. Yeah, definitely way overshot this one. Alright, speed brakes to slow us on down. Let's get our flaps going down as well. It's supposed to be VFR conditions, but it still looks like MFR.
American 2097, San Antonio Tower, wind calm, runway 31, left cleared to land.
You one left clear to land.
Runway 31 left cleared to land. American 2097.
Yeah, way overshot this. This is partially my fault too. I wasn't paying enough attention to it. Alright, speed brakes are gone. Let's arm them. Lovely weather. Yeah, it's beautiful weather. Flaps 5. Slow us on down. Alright, localizer captured. Glide slope will be next. Altitude's looking good. 8 nautical miles out. Airport's in sight. Yeah, see, we're super smooth here now. I wonder... At least it looks like it's super smooth. Alright, glide slope's coming down. That's looking good. Airport's in sight, fields in sight, runways in sight. We'll see how the traffic is. I think that's where my question is going to be. I feel like FS HUD's traffic was very, very impressive. If the park traffic, and I can always push up the park traffic with Beyond ATC. But the defaults, by just everything defaults, it looked really, really good. And that's what I was kind of doing my comparison with. The vector, again, I prefer the vector was better with FS HUD, but it was an ILS vector. This was a visual vector. So there's differences with that. I don't think you can do visuals with FS HUD. I think it's all ILS or RNAVs. Where Beyond ATC loves a visual. Alright, speed's coming back. Wind's a crosswind right now, 13. ATC said it was... They didn't tell us the wind. Wind calm. Okay. That's a lie, unless it's going to change here as we get closer to the ground, which it looks like it is. 6 knots now. I'll be damned. Well, can buy both Beyond ATC and FS HUD for less than a good aircraft add-on. There's that. For sure. I still say, like, I think everyone should own Beyond ATC. I think it's the better... The best one you can own out of the 3 of them, if you had to buy one. You can't buy SI, but I think FS HUD's still a good product to also own. It's a good one just to kind of keep on experimenting with and seeing how the progress is made with it. Like, I don't regret my purchase with it. I never will, I don't think. Because I've done enough flights with it to where... Oh, this is cool. The sun's kind of kicking in. A little high in the glide slope. Let's get her nose down. There's too much focusing on the sunshine coming in. The visuals of flight sim. Alright, now we're really high. Let's get us down, let's get us down. Alright, doing better. Got a southwest holding for us.
Approaching minimums.
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 Landing.
50, 30, 20, 10.
Woo, coming a little hot. Alright, touchdown. Alright, not as good of a landing as the first one, but we'll take it. Reverse. Slow us down so Sun Country can get on this runway. Reverse is stowed. It was cool seeing the sun break through, though. That was awesome. Left here, Juliet. Well, we're taking Sierra. Juliet? What the hell is Juliet? Oh, I see Juliet. That was down there, just a little bit further. Alright, we're going to take Hotel. I'm assuming that's what they'd want us to take.
American 2097, contact ground 121.9er.
Ground 121.9er. American 2097.
Still haven't tried to let myself spend 120 on the MD-11 yet. Yeah, the MD-11's a fun plane. It's a lot of work to learn, but it's a super fun plane. Super, super fun plane. I flew that a couple days back. Super, super fun plane. Bravo 2. Wait a second. Didn't we have Bravo 2 for the other flight? San Antonio ground, American 2097. We're on taxiway Hotel, looking to taxi to gate Bravo 2.
American 2097, welcome to San Antonio. Taxi to gate Bravo 2 via Hotel.
Taxi to gate Bravo 2 via Hotel. American 2097.
I think it was Bravo 2 for the last one. I'm like 1,000,000,000% sure it was Bravo 2. We're gonna see, because it was inside a little U up here, next to an American plane. I'm pretty sure it was Bravo 2 for the last flight. I would bet money on it. That's crazy. I know I like it because you do. Oh, it's a fun plane. Jay Russ was the one that got me involved with that one. I was hesitant to get it. There's that Southwest lining up over there. Or no, sorry, Sun Country. Oh, look at that! I got a plane coming. Oh boy, what's going on here? Uh-oh. Are they going around? Going around. That's cool. I love seeing that. Oh, there's a FedEx over there. It's the same FedEx, I think, too. Sun Country's rolling. Bye-bye. Oh, pay attention here. Pay attention. Alright, so... I think I'm seeing less planes here. We got a southwest, southwest. That American plane was there. It's not there anymore. Southwest, southwest. There's a bunch of planes there. I remember that coming to runway 4. So it looks like there's just a handful of less planes. Taxi lights are off. Yep. It's Hotel 2, the same, or sorry, Bravo 2, the same gate we had on the first one. Same gate. That's cool. That's awesome. I love seeing that. I don't know why. Bravo 2. We're gonna do a quick drone around just to kind of see traffic. But I would say there's maybe 2 or 3 planes less. 2 or 3 planes less than FS HUD, which isn't bad, but I bet you we can easily crank it up and get about the same amount of planes around. I didn't shut down, I just realized I didn't shut down the last flight. Just skedaddled. Alright, engines turn off, but the performance is better here. Alright, we're gonna go to drone mode real quick. I don't have a button set up for that, I don't think. So we're gonna go to here and go to, I do, Control Shift D. I'll never remember that. Alright, and then let's go drone around real quick. So we got southwest, southwest. Let's go up in the sky a little bit. Yeah, so there are definitely more planes here. We have Delta. Yeah, so on the first flight, pretty much all of these... Geez, there's some stutters there. All of these gates were taken. All of these were pretty much taken when we came in for landing. Remember that? That FedEx plane was over there. It's still there. A couple Southwest here. I don't remember what this all looked like here. I know there was the American here. These might have been empty. I know I saw a plane over there, so not a whole lot going on there. Got to roll. Nice stream. Thanks, Kingbot, for coming in. And Keith, thank you as well. Hit the like button, everyone. Appreciate his efforts. There's Southwest. I wonder if that's that one that went on go around. Okay, now let's just experiment here real quick. We're going to go, and I'm going to turn back to local voices, but I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go parked. We're going to increase the parked to 7. It's going to clear out all the traffic. All the planes are going to go away. We're going to go bye-bye. And we're just going to, I just want to see if it spawns more planes. Yep, there's a few more planes for sure. So still a few less than what FS HUD had. A few less. Maybe 3 or 4 less than what FS HUD had. But definitely more. And the performance is pretty much... There's a few more stutters turning. But pretty much the same. I think that was because it's loading air traffic now. But yeah. Yeah, performance is pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. I'm going to kind of roll with... Did it just spawn another one? I think it just spawned another one. I'm going to roll with this for a little bit, kind of see how this goes. But that's going to be it today, folks. I appreciate everyone's for coming on in today. Z-Money, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships early on. And 15 from Captain today. Thank you both for all the support. Much, much appreciated here on the Sunday. Typically Sunday streams aren't all that great in terms of traffic coming on in, but it's cool today. We had some pretty good traffic. So I do appreciate everyone coming on in today. Great experience today with FS HUD and Beyond ATC. The first flight was pretty good. The only critique I had with that first flight was the fact that you had planes landing on the opposite side of the runway. So that was not good. Beyond ATC was good. The vector for the visual approach was probably my bad, but I think it was a combination of my bad and Beyond ATC, kind of a miscommunication on that part, but everything else was pretty good. If I crank up the traffic to 7, it's about the same you get with FS HUD, and performance is very good, especially with OBS running. It's really, really good, honestly. So that's all good. No major complaints from either one of them. They're all very good for what they offer. So take it as you like. Again, thank you all for coming on in for the stream today. We'll see you all for the next stream. I have no idea when. Maybe we'll get another one in over the next 2 days. We'll kind of see how play it by ear. But until the next one, have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great holiday, and we'll see you for next stream. Take care, everyone.